My name is Derek Irby, and I started in Lamar University's online program as a teacher at Albany ninth grade school, teaching health and coaching basketball. But at the beginning of the school year for 2016-2017, I transferred to another school in Albany. So now I am currently a physical education teacher at Bussey Elementary School. I had the pleasure of interviewing Miss Asuoka Anchi of Child Nutrition or Food Services Department, Ms. Laurie Moorhead of Health Services or the Nursing Department, and Ms. Deidre Leaks of, Public, of the Public Education Information Management System, or PEIMS for short. In my opportunity to visit with the departments above, I feel that when visiting with each department head, knowing what technology is needed is crucial to understanding my job as a future administrator. I don't think that any one department could be more critical in the education process than any other department. Other than the different budgets for operating costs, there is a real concern for each and every student as an individual, and this makes each department and each stakeholder a very important part of the field experience process as technology continues to gain more influence in education. Why I selected the following departments? I chose PEIMS as one of my options because of the sensitivity of all information that is concerned with the program. Administrators have access to so much information as far as PEIMS is concerned, and I wanted to know how students are handled when it comes to PEIMS during the enrollment process. The nurse was also another entity of the school in the health services department that I selected because the nurse deals with private medical information that an administrator may or may not have access to initially until an update is given on the well-being of the students. The nurse is there to ensure the safety of the students' health and wellness from a medical aspect and to make an informed decision for them to go home or remain at school. The nurse has quite a few duties that require the use of technology, which can also be hectic because she is responsible for over 1,100 students. The nurse also let me know that she is responsible for information that other people are not allowed to know, and this may sometimes include information others may not have access to, and this is due to FERPA, or the Federal Education Rights and Privacy Act, a law that prevents her from releasing student information to unauthorized personnel. I also selected someone from Food Services or the Child Nutrition Department. I selected this department due to the challenge of feeding students quality food that is free but also tasty enough to be consumed by the students. I was really interested to know where they got their data and prepared for the next school year by selecting meals to create a diverse menu. All right, my name is Derek Urban. This is my participating video, option 3. I have decided to interview Miss Akasua Anchi from Food Services Department here at Bussey Elementary. The purpose of this program is just to find out what type of technology you use back in food services to help serve the children here at this school, you and your staff.
Okay. First of all, we have computers in the office, and then we have our registers that communicate with each other, so we are able to get whatever um, report when the kids entered their numbers,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to know who ate today or who didn't eat, and to be able to know who needs what and who doesn't need what.
Okay, you said the students enter a number. Um,
Hmm.
so, and this is on a daily basis
Daily
for
basis,
breakfast and lunch.
breakfast and lunch. And then we use it to make my food order inventory.
Okay, what's the name of this? What's the name of this program that you use?
We have one source, and it's like we have three different programs. We have one source,
Okay,
eTech, and then we have NutriKit.
So one source, and what were the other two?
E-Tech, EATEC.
E-Tech and
NutriKits, NUTRINN Kits.
NutriKit.
Mhm.
And this is all maybe throughout the district.
Mhm. It is.
Okay. All right. Second question: to what degree are you knowledgeable of and proficient with the technology in your department?
So far, I'll say I'm pretty good at it. I just started as a new manager, but in whatever basic knowledge that I have to know, I already know. So I know I'm still learning, and I'm I'm
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best and one being the I guess the worst, for lack of better words, what would you rate yourself as?
I would say 7
Okay.
because I learn new things every day about the program.
All right. Well, that's good. So, in the event that, say, for instance, you're not in, or you need to make an order, but you're not here, can any one of your staff members make an order for you, or does anybody besides yourself know about the program?
Yes, my
Okay.
assistant, Tammy, she's the accountability specialist. Normally, they know how the programs run as well. So when the manager is not in, they can step in and do whatever needs to be done. And according to we have a schedule, so she just needs to look at what is due on that day and then put it in.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Next question: are department objectives effectively and efficiently met through the use of technology? I don't know what you guys' goals are, but basically, are your kids served through this program efficiently and effectively?
They are, unless, like we said, if the power goes off, because everything is in the system.
Okay.
So once something there's a glitch somewhere, then
Hmm.
that is where we encounter some of because some of the kids will it's already programmed in the system. If they can take the food, the kind of food they're allergic to, they're all in there. So that is what we can miss, that if think
Uh,
there's a blackout or something happens like that.
okay. And
Hmm.
also, I see kids when they're late for school. Maybe they come in through the front, but you guys still give them breakfast. So how do you guys take care of that?
They just introduced a new system last year
Hmm.
for like a breakfast to go that they can take to the classroom. So once breakfast is out and then the doors are closed, we have that available for the kids that are late that can come in and eat.
Is that a different program besides one of the ones that
We
you?
use the same program. It's just a different, like I said program because we have the breakfast program. We have a
Okay.
breakdown like that. So that
Okay.
is like a grab and go. That's the name of that.
Okay.
Just to take we run it through the same Nutri Kids and all that.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you just enter their number maybe later.
We write, but over there they just write the number on the paper and then she'll bring it to me and I'll put it in
Okay.
the office.
All right. Okay. Good. All right. Next question: does technology facilitate effective student services?
Definitely, because we are able to know how many students we can feed every day.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Next question here: what are the strengths and weaknesses within your department's technology systems?
The strength is most of the time every all the programs are running,
Hmm.
but then once there's a problem, sometimes it may take a while for them to get to you because it's a lot of schools.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so you have to figure a way out every time until they get here, and that sometimes take Like you might need it right away, but you might not get hold of them like to fix it right away. So
So how long would it be? Maybe that same within that same day, or
depending on what it is, it might be the same day, or they can talk to you on the phone whilst you're doing it. So it depends on what the problem is. But like if it's like a register that is broken,
Mhm.
sometimes it might take the whole day
okay,
for them to get to you because they have to physically come here and
yeah.
get to it. Yeah.
So, well, can they bring another register, or is it something like they just have to leave this register at this school because it's attached to this school, or?
Sometimes they will take it and bring another one, but then they have to come here and see for themselves what the problem is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they might take it and bring another one, but it's not. I don't think it's attached to the school. It's
Okay.
child nutrition, so they just take it and then bring it. I don't know if they have to, because I know a couple of weeks ago we had one of the cords that didn't connect well, so he had to bring another cord and he brought it and took that one with him. The
Okay.
bad one done.
Okay. So strengths, the programs are good, and weaknesses maybe if something maybe breaks down, or maybe the power even goes
The
out.
time, yeah, they get to you. That is the only weakness I've experienced so far. But other than that, most of the time it's good.
All right, and I had a couple of questions just to kind of clarify some stuff for me.
Okay.
How does Child Nutrition Services or Food Services Department determine what makes the schedule for the school year? Like what food makes it onto your schedule for the school year?
They have a nutritionist and a dietitian at the main office,
Mhm.
so they plan the meal for the school year. Or is that?
So yeah, do they take a survey, or how do they go about, like, where do they get the data from to
Oh.
make, like, so if kids, say for instance, if they want to serve Brussels sprouts, because Brussels sprouts we know are healthy, but they know the kids won't eat Brussels sprouts.
Right.
So how do they determine, okay, what can we feed the kids instead of Brussels sprouts to make sure they're eating?
Well, they
And eating healthy.
first of all, the child nutrition department is governed by the USDA and then the TDA.
Okay.
So they have guidelines and policies that it go with. So whatever they're serving needs to go by them. So the nutrition and the diet, they go by that. But for us to, if they decide on, okay, we're gonna serve pancake or whatever, I'm not sure how they come up with that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But everything else needs to run even the calories that needs to go in there, how many they have to get, all that goes by those guidelines.
So do you, as a director back here, do you have any input into, okay, the kids didn't like this meal? Okay, all right.
We go to, they have menu meetings with the managers once in a while, and then they let us, we tell them what is working, what the kids are taking, and what they are not taking.
Okay.
I don't know if you paid attention, but in this year, we only running breakfast, like it's a menu cycle is just 1 week. So it's just the same thing every week.
Okay.
They went by last year, they went through the whole breakfast menu and decided what they take most and made it just for that.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
good. Because I noticed, like, sometimes kids they won't eat breakfast, like maybe they won't like a certain breakfast, and they'll just toss it.
Right.
So all right, good. And last question here. How do you guys collect data for the students with the use of technology? What you kind of just mentioned, you said that you guys kind of take what they eat and you enter into a program, and you also have meetings. But what's the name of what's the name of the program maybe that y'all use
to get the data? It starts from their names and information start from one source. That one source has all the students' information.
Okay.
Once they are at how do you say? they get in the school
Mhm.
and like they come through lunch, we don't know their number, whatever. We just write the first day, second day, write their names
Okay.
down, and then we send it to the office, and they have somebody at the office that programs into the system
Mhm.
that gives them that student lunch number.
Okay.
So by maybe that might take 2-3 days, they should be in the system.
All right.
That's
All right. One more question. The yellow sheets that students fill out in order to get the free or reduced lunch. Because I know Aldine has free lunch for every campus.
right.
How does that sheet? How do you guys? How does that sheet determine like how you guys get funding? I guess. How's that collected and the data and everything? Because I know every student does not bring a sheet back. So how do you guys collect the data on that?
Yeah, once we give it out, and the ones that bring it, they go basically they go by income of the household.
Okay.
So, but I don't know how much like the cutoff. They don't tell us that.
Okay.
We just send it to the office and they determine that.
But is that collected through one of the programs like you mentioned earlier, like OneSource or Nutra?
I can see it over here, but I don't know what. I'm thinking they use the same OneSource back in the office to enter all that, but back here I can only put the name or the number and then see if they're in the system and then what information I have on that child.
So does food services collect that, or does the administration at the school collect it?
The school, we give it out to them and then they bring it back to us after they filled it out.
Okay.
And then we forward it to the office. So whichever, but then before we send it, the assistant goes through all of it, make sure every spot is filled, because if not, they will not do it. They will return it, and then you have to do it over again.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Here I am with Nurse Moorhead, the school nurse for Bussey Elementary. The purpose of this session is to learn how you and your staff use technology to manage your department. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions here. First question: what type of technology does your department use on a routine basis?
The program that we use is called eSchool, and this year is the first year that we've really went the majority, online. Okay, and what I mean by that is that all the charting that when we see a student, whether they come in for illness or first aid or anything, is now done on the computer.
Okay.
And all of our medications that we give our children are now charted online also.
All right, very well. All right, that leads me to my second question. To what degree are you knowledgeable of and proficient with the technology in your department with eSchool?
Well, this has definitely been a learning curve year, okay, because a lot of the programs that we were used to being able to do on our old system is not the same way as what we're able to do it now.
Okay, so eSchool is fairly new.
Yes, so we really do have to. We've had some glitches. Okay, like in the beginning of the year when we need to run the immunization deficiency reports, we had to go back to the programmers to be able to do what we needed to do.
Oh wow. So was this at every school?
Yes, this was district wide.
Okay. And I'm assuming that maybe this program, is it able to be used on an iPad?
Oh no.
No, only desktop or laptop?
Yes. Oh, not even laptop. We were only able
desktop.
to do it.
Okay. All right. Next question. Are department objectives effectively and efficiently met through the use of technology?
Hopefully by the time we get through this first year, when we find out all the little glitches, we will be able to be more effective. I mean, it's been a very frustrating year for the nursing department.
Okay, and they use this, I know there's school nurses from elementary all the way up to high school. So
I promise you, there is not a nurse in the district that is not having some issues.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being most proficient and 1 being least proficient, how would you rate yourself around this I guess around this time of year?
Right now with this new program, I'm ranking about a 5 or a 6.
About a 5 or 6. Okay, that's you're being fair. I think maybe judging yourself a little critical, but all right. Next question: does technology facilitate effective student services in your department?
Hopefully, once we get through this year, before then I would have told you yes.
Okay.
But with this new program, because it is always, about, struggles, when you're learning a new program and how it can benefit your district.
Yes.
I feel like we're still in that learning curve stage.
So you really don't have any data to compare and go off of at this point? No,
I mean, right now I can honestly tell you, we're hoping with what the immunizations, our deadline for that was October 28th. So now that we've hit that PEMS day, okay, and now that we've moved forward, we're hoping that all this data that we put in is going to be able to show us deficiencies when we have it.
Okay.
So far, it seems to be working, but I have found this week I have found a glitch or two, even with that. So we've had to keep a running record on top of having our computer.
Oh wow! Okay. Okay, so you've really been working hard because of this new program.
Because the whole thing, you don't want the children not to get their immunizations like they should, because then that just puts them on a delayed schedule.
So, okay, at this point in time, like who do you give you said your PEMS report? So who would you give that to? Is it the school principals get this report, or
the main person that gets it from my department is the director of nursing.
Okay.
Now the principals in each building, of course, know what's going on. They're informed by us. Of course, they have to sign off on the PEMS report that was due at the end of October.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then, of course, it goes all the way up to the administration building.
Yes. All right. Another couple of questions here. What are the strengths and weaknesses within your department's technology?
I feel like at this point, now that we've moved off of the immunizations, I feel like a lot of those issues we've kind of got ironed out. Okay. Now we're hitting vision and hearing.
Okay.
Okay. And so, once again, it's working through that process, finding the glitches, making the suggestions, having to go back to the programmers to help us, work through those issues. Because with the nursing, with vision and hearing, we need to know once we start inputting, kids that have been screened, then we need to be sure that we have screened all the children. So we have to be able to pull the kids that have not. I mean, so it's just a learning process still. We've moved to a different project.
All right. So, that was I guess maybe the weakness of the system that you're using. So is there a definite, like a strength to the technology? I
will say one thing I will be on the positive side about the eSchool is that with the online medication charting, that has definitely been an effective, updated system.
Okay. Just taking some notes here.
Okay.
Very good. All right, next question. When you serve and support students, do you collect data through the same system that was mentioned earlier, eSchool?
We are still not to that point. I mean, we have to do a 9-week report, but like when coming up with my totals, okay, like how many first aids I see a day, that type of thing, I still have to do, at this point, we're still having to do a head count, just a hand count. Basically.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you are busy. So you're more busy than some other nurses. So, wow.
I think every nurse, no matter where they are in this district, are busy. Each building, like we have over 1,000 students here. There are some buildings that have roughly 600.
Yes.
Some of them, like the high school level, they've definitely got, I think the high schools are like at 2,000 or
2,000, yeah.
2,000 to 2,500,
yes,
something like that. So the needs are just different. Of course, with each age group, you have different
Yes.
needs.
Okay. A couple more questions here, and then we'll wrap it up. Do you have system safeguards in place so you can still serve and support students in case of a power outage? Like, is there a backup system for you in case of a power
I'm
outage?
going to assume so. I don't know that to be
Okay.
a truth. I would assume that the district would have something like that in place.
Okay. Well, yeah, we will hope so.
Oh, we would hope so.
All right. And last question here: is there any technology you may use to help you if there's a mass casualty or an emergency related event to serve students when you're away from your office?
Not technology. There's not, because we're not able to. I know that like teachers have a laptop that they can take home and stuff. We're not allowed to do that because that information, which is under HIPAA,
Yes.
is up in the cloud.
Okay, there we go.
And we can't have that up in the cloud.
All right. So HIPAA certifications won't allow it.
Yeah.
Or HIPAA guidelines.
Yeah. All that HIPAA, like you see in the hospital, doctor's offices, applies here also.
So one more question.
Okay.
Does the high school or the school principal, do they have access to see certain criteria that you're on? Well,
yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. They are open to, with their computer access that they're granted, they can look at basically everything.
Everything. Okay.
They can basically look at everything. For instance, I'm going to use this as an instance. Say a parent called, after hours, I was already gone. The principal could look to see if I had charted anything on that child that day.
Okay. So they have kind of the same access that you have.
They pretty well, my understanding by what I'm able to tell about what they're able to do, they have the same access that I do.
And so there's no.
But they're under HIPAA too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
they're under HIPAA too.
All right. Well, very good. Make sure everybody's covered so there's no lawsuit.
That's right.
I am here with Ms. Leeks, and I'm interviewing Ms. Leeks about the Public Education Information Management System. The purpose is to find out how she uses PIMS and technology. All right, first question. What type of technology does your department use on a routine basis as far as PIMS, like the program, anything like that?
Okay. This year, Aldine has implemented a new system called eSchool. In the past, we have used SMS system, and that was to manage student grades and also scheduling for the staff and the students. This year, we are using eSchool, and it helps us manage the scheduling for students' classes, teachers, assigning teachers, teachers of records, and also the grading system.
Good. Question number 2. To what degree are you knowledgeable of and proficient with that portion of the technology, that eSchool?
Because I've had a lot of training, I think I'm a little more proficient than before because it is new. It is very new. And so we have binders that we refer to, and we also have the student services who is over the district offices who are training us, and we also call them also for references and help with the system. But I think I'm becoming more proficient with it.
Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best and 1 being not so proficient, what would you rate yourself?
I would say 6 or 7.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Because the more you do it, the better you learn about it.
All right, good. Next question. Are department objectives efficiently and effectively met through the use of this technology?
I think so, and that's why we use the technology, because it helps us gather our PIMS information and behavior data and things like that for the state. And so I think it is effective.
All right.
Number 4, next question. Does technology facilitate effective student services? I don't know what that.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm assuming it means that, again, for student services, for instance, servicing them for their grades and their classes. And so, like, we have parents sometimes, and of course, I don't work in high school, but I know some kids need to come back and get their transcripts and things like that. And so all of that is through technology. And so even when parents come and they lost report cards and things like that, they go to student services, or we can reprint. Even if they've withdrawn, we can reprint things like that. But it keeps us the data again about how the kids are doing. Even with the new eSchool now in Aldine, if a student transfer from one campus to another campus, the grades follow them. Whereas before, we had to put the grades in. So that's effectively for student services as well. Now, if they're coming from outside the district, we still have to put those grades in. But at least if they're leaving from another Aldine school to another Aldine school, those grades travel with them within the system.
So what if they use the same system that you guys use, like eSchool? Say they go to school in spring or something like that. If
You know what?
use
The other
eSchool?
districts are using it because my kids are in spring, and so I can see how the what they call it. Again, it's new. Forgot the name of it, but I use it in spring for my kids when I want to look at the grades and go online and see what grades they made, or I want to go see their report card or progress report. I can go online like the parents can here as well. They can go online and pull it up. So, but I don't think the technology have it where they can transfer, even if the other school district has
Gotcha,
eSchool,
gotcha.
because Aldine has the latest version, and I think each district has it to complement their district and the needs that they're using their needs in the district. Yeah.
So would it be Parent Connect or something like that you're talking about?
It's called Havoc now, but it's similar to Parent Connect. Havoc, I think it's Havoc, HVAC. We did a training for the parents as well on that. But it's similar to Parent Connect.
Okay.
But with eSchool, I think it's other things you can do. Some things I haven't learned yet that the parents can do through eSchool. And I do know some districts have the not the newest version, and we supposedly have the newest version. And so sometimes they tell us not to, talk to people in other districts and say, oh, you can do this and you can do that, because again, ours is catered for Aldine, and we do have the newest version of it. So
Okay. Next question. What are the strengths and weaknesses within your department's technology, I guess, as it relates to this information management system?
The strengths again is, it's keeping up with the student data information, management information, again, as far as behavior, tracking of the students' behavior, tracking of the grades, the classes they're in, the teachers of record, things like that. I would say the weaknesses right now is just everyone is not fully, it's new. So it's a new system. In fact, for PINGS, we turned in our PINGS earlier this month, and many of us APs had to kind of go back and update some things because it's a new system that we did not know we were not supposed to add. So we had to go back and delete some things. So, you have your strengths and your weaknesses because, again, you have a learning group of people. Everybody's learning is brand new. And then we had a lot of things roll out, new technology this year. So not only you have eSchool and how to do the new report cards and how to do even with the bus services, transportation, you have School Do that they just rolled in. So we have a lot of new technology that rolled in at once. So everyone is trying to learn everything.
And this is for the whole entire district?
Yes, School Do is how you order for transportation. Let's say you want bus information. In fact, they supposedly add GPS tracking to the buses soon with that, and where the parents can look at video and things like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All that hasn't been implemented to School Do yet, but they at least has just added it. So if I want to order a video, something supposedly happened on the bus, or why is the bus late and things like that, I can go and order the video, upload it, look at it, and see what happens. And so that's the School Do that we're using.
So
before that, it was A-Work. And also through School Do, you can do maintenance. So if we have maintenance, something that the campus needs to be fixed, you send it through School Do as well. Technology, everything so far has been through School Do.
So will they have somebody in charge of that at every school, or will it be just the head principal?
In charge of what? The transportation, or
as far as the maintenance? Like who?
Okay.
Is
Like,
a
yeah,
personal contact at every school?
Yeah. At every school, there's a personal contact. Sometimes, in some campuses, it's the assistant principal.
Okay.
In some campuses, it's the principal secretary.
Okay.
And so they send her the information, and she can send it through. So it just depends on how the principal delegates it.
So one more question.
Mhm.
If, say, teachers had a problem with eSchool and the way it was set up, would you guys maybe consider scrapping that and going with another program? Because I know there's probably programs that might be better or worse, just depending on your school. You know, so if a majority of the teachers said, hey, we don't like this program, do you think y'all would scrap the program? Or
I don't think we would just scrap it because they don't like it. We would look at the concerns and maybe ask them what the strengths and the weaknesses and what their concerns are, and see if the concerns are legitimate. And look at how, because at certain times we have to make sure that we go by what the state says. So if this program is giving us everything we need to submit to the state properly, and the teachers just don't like it because they don't like technology, then no, we wouldn't scrap it. But if it's some legitimate concerns and we see it across the board that, okay, this is not working, I would think, yeah, you would go to another system. We really didn't want to leave SMS, but that company is like, we're not doing it anymore, we're not monitoring it anymore. So that's why we moved to eSchool.
Okay.
But again, with eSchool, I'm realizing that if we didn't like eSchool, all the assistant principals, the directors, nobody really liked it because it was new and it was, okay, we got to learn this. This seemed like so complicated, this and that. But now that we're getting into it, I see some things that are actually better than SMS and more time, better time to do things with eSchool than SMS. So, it's just all about, not just because I don't like it, it's brand new, because sometimes that could be the issue, but we need to see, okay, what exactly are the issues, some factual issues that's going on, that why you don't like it. Are you losing grades when you put your grades in all the time? Or are you, and sometimes even with grades, when grades are due, teachers, they're supposed to be putting grades in daily. A lot of them in the district, and then we have data to show the teachers wait to that week of, and they're in the day before, and sometimes the time. And everybody's doing it at the same time. And that causes problem within any system. Even in SMS, they've lost grades before because of that, because everyone in this district is doing grades.
Gotcha.
So we really can't say, well, yes, I fault. No, because you're really supposed to be putting grades in daily. So if everybody was following, the procedure of putting your grades in so parents could see and monitor and whatever, then you would have these issues that, okay, shutting down is real slow. And the same with our lesson plans. Our lesson plans are still with Eduphoria, so we didn't. That's the system that stayed. So
okay, all right.
And in our data, pulling up the data from benchmark scores, star, things like that. That's still all through Eduphoria.
And one more question, promise. So if in the event this eSchool or something shut down as far as the information management system, what would be y'all backup? Do you guys keep like hard copies of information, or is it just all kept electronically now?
You know what? Honestly, I don't know for sure, but I do know with SMS we had backup. So the teachers had to print out, like when the report cards are due, because report cards, progress reports are just for the parents to see what's going on, but the report cards is what submitted as well, and documented and could be audited and things like that. So with the report cards, the teachers had to save it to a drive, which is the District X drive.
Okay.
But they don't have to do that anymore. So with them not having to do that anymore, I'm assuming that this has its own personal backup drive.
Okay, all right.
I don't know for sure, but the fact that they don't have to save it. And I used to save report cards and things on my computer, and I don't have to anymore. And the fact that they don't have to pull their own, because they used to have to print out their own proof sheets and this and that, and then they had to save it all in the X drive. And we used to go in and check and make sure it's there. And
so it's much better.
It's much better. Yes, since they don't have to do that, it must be a backup drive to it.
All right, that will save on a lot of paperwork then.
Right.
All right, well, hey.
When analyzing and attempting to understand each department head, beginning with Ms. Anchi, I feel that Ms. Anchi is knowledgeable to a certain degree, and because she is new, she is also attempting to learn a new program dealing with technology. She is doing a great job, and she is self-aware, knowing that she needs the technology, but she also needs to improve and become more familiar with the technology. Nurse Moorhead is knowledgeable of her profession, but as with any new item that is presented to anyone, it may take time to learn. Nurse Moorhead is from a generation that did not rely on computers so much to help with job performance. Anyhow, I have confidence in her as she is doing a great job serving her students, but she will also continue to learn and incorporate new technology as it will allow her to record, find, and share data more easily. Ms. Leaks shared a portion of PIMS with me. She broke it into sections, and she covered it very well. Her knowledge of the technology portion being utilized on a daily basis is strong, and she is well acquainted with the information, but she needs to keep getting familiar with the navigation of new technology as it continues to change. Food services. They use their data to measure and determine how many students they will serve. Also, what menu items the students find the most enjoyable. Food services uses technology in determining how much money they collect from different venues of service as well. Nurse Moorhead. She finds that it is easier to access and retrieve data and serve students better with the program she has. She also thinks that the system she is using is more streamlined to better serve the students that she supports. Ms. Leaks uses digital tools to record data, and systems she is using saves time and paper resources. The program she uses is also able to be accessed from school to school within the district, allowing for easier transfers, withdrawals, and enrollments within the system. Areas of need that were revealed were accessibility to technology, emergency or backup systems, and also lack of training. The more people that may be using one system will cause the system to respond more slowly to users' requests. There was no real or definite plan in place if there is a major power outage or a natural event to ensure the information is safe and secure, especially for the school nurse due to HIPAA regulations. To not have student information stored in a cloud type of database. Food Services says that the use of technology allows them to record data and work faster. The nurse says technology helps her retrieve and access students' medications easier, and the technology helps to get her student data and information she needs to record easier. The administrator over PIMS says that the technology she uses is more user-friendly, and it helps her store and retrieve data better and share information better after getting more familiar with it. What went well for me was meeting with the nurse. Nurse Moorhead is a very hard worker, with a lot of her job being so dependent on technology that if something causes a power outage or causes any kind of interruption of electricity, her job will be a bit more difficult to perform, but not so much. I felt that the nurse should have an electronic sign-in system for students, or maybe the nurse could put together a sign-in system that is on Google Docs. It seems that the nurse may be overwhelmed by the workload she has at times. I'm not sure how many females visit the nurse on an average daily basis, but I asked the nurse how she deals with elementary students being sick, and she said she cannot really do anything for them. She says she does what she can to help them feel a little bit better about being at school. I felt that I learned a great deal from the school nurse when it comes to her job as part of the school mission. I feel that because the nurse is providing service, she also shouldn't be evaluated in a school setting. There is no real way to measure and evaluate her services aside from the fact that students sign in to meet with her, and then she sends them home or gets them to go back to class somehow. What also went well in my interview was with Ms. Leaks. She has so much knowledge to give that I do not really know where to begin to ask her questions that may help me get started in the direction that I needed to go. Anyway, she took the time to show me in her computer certain parts of PIEMS and the different ways to manipulate the technology in regards to the students and teachers. Everything about any student enrolled in the district is in the system, which I learned quite a lot during my time with Ms. Lees. What would I change? The following as it relates to technology. I will have more than one nurse serving the school of 1,100 students. I will have one nurse stay in the office and have a sign-in system that the teacher and the nurse can use to see students sign in and sign out when they come to the nurse's clinic. The other idea is have a roaming nurse and have all students get an ID badge, so if they do have to go see the nurse, they can swipe in and out with their badge. But if not, then you can just call a nurse to your room and she can take care of the student, so that way the student won't really have to lose too much time out of the classroom. I would also change the PIEMS and make it statewide, like the teachers use. I know that different districts like to use different technology and try to stay ahead of one another, but I feel that in this technological era, there should be a digital copy of students' charts that should be able to be transferred simply with the click of a button. This saves on time, paper, gas, etc. What surprising information was revealed through this experience was that the programs at Aldine, they use a good program, but not one of the best. I also found out that the old way of putting in data and printing out grades, which was very time consuming and which also took up a lot of space with hard copies, is now obsolete and all information is digital. I also learned that food services is more than just about ordering and cooking food for students. I learned that there is time and data that goes into servicing the students the best and most affordable meals possible. The experience will transition myself from practices as a school manager by keeping abreast of the latest technology and maintaining continuous contact with the various leaders in my departments. I have also learned to survey students through a general school survey or through a student council survey, because the students are the ones that are being served, so their input should matter too.